Hi guys! Hi guys. You like the new icon? I'm switching from the dog. The dog is still there, he's still in the reactive, but he's still on the website. Oh shit! But we're switching off the dog for future, for the future. Although I'll probably find a new background, I don't want to use Magician's Night EX the whole time. But, you know, normal day. New story drop for Blue Archive, so we're here. We're here to read through it and have a little fun, you know, just quick little chill stream where I read and shit. I haven't had the opportunity to actually do my dailies yet, so we're gonna do that after the stream. We do not care about that right now. But for now, we are going to tap into the hold up. I want my pyros. Hold up. Yeah. Okay. I just farmed extreme because I don't care. First of all, let's do a little quick account update real quickly. I did cave. I rolled for Sakurako. I posted on my Twitter. I had to spark, but I had 58k, so, and a 10 ticket from Grand Assault, so didn't dent my wallet too much. We still should be good to grab Seiya, Rio, and potentially the Shupagakis off of the with pity with spark, so that doesn't worry me too much. I don't know the rate at which we are going to be building pyros and the exact gap, as I think it's 3 months now. I think we're actually closing that distance pretty well, but we'll see. We got a bunch of nothing banners coming up. We have some reruns of limiteds that maybe you may need, chatter watcher, like maybe Diako or Tiyuka or Henwai Kayako, maybe a little here and there, but for me, I'm chilling, I'm skipping, because I already have everything that I need, so it's not too much of a worry to me. What else? What else is on the agenda? I think that's about it. We will be reading Decagrammaton. We have been waiting for this. I have been waiting for this. PV6 dropped with the, what's it called? PV6, the full one dropped. And that, I've been watching that on repeat. I don't know if I said this last time, but it's true. We got motherfucking Flaming Sword, because that's awesome, right? But I'm super excited. This is the first part of Decagrammaton chapter, Decagrammaton episode, volume EX Decagrammaton, chapter 2. I honestly don't remember much of chapter 1 all that well, but I have the general idea, you know? So I may do a reread stream of that between this first part of the chapter, and then the second part of the chapter, which is coming soon-ish. So either way, we will see. First, let's check the tree of life, the Kabbalah, as one would say. So, if I remember correctly, Tippereth is the beating heart, so he's right here. Kokma is right here. Yasad is right here. And then there's one that I don't remember here, and Malkuth is here. I believe we'll be seeing Kokma. We'll be seeing Malkuth in these two, in this part. But Tippereth and Yasad and the third one that I don't have the name of right now will be for part 2 and beyond. But, let's get into it. This is going to be a Millennium focused. So, I'm excited. We actually haven't done Millennium yet. Like, at all. So, let's do some reading. Right into it. Glacial Sea again. Oh, yep. I forgot. We are at the Glacial Sea. Even though it was in the name, I forgot, though. How's it looking, Amy? Toki? No major changes detected during recon. I've identified the occasional Decagrammaton follower, but they are not hostile. No combat initiated. We only decided to continue operations here in hopes of securing more data on the Faith Prophet, Gebera. But we've gotten nothing. This feels like a waste of manpower and resources. More importantly, this environment is too harsh for a delicate, beautiful, super genius, chic, cool beauty like me. You've added more adjectives to your moniker, President. Furthermore, I believe chic and cool are inaccurate descriptions. Absolutely wrong. I am the very epitome of chic, cool beauty. Amy, you really must think more highly of me. Yes, Amy. Regardless of reality, it is important to encourage high self-esteem in both ourselves and others. Toki, has anyone ever told you that some things are better left unsaid? Yes, you know me very well, President Himari. However, I do not understand the sentiment and have no desire to either. Do something about this, Sensei. It was bad enough with Amy, and now I must endure Toki as well. Well, I guess Sensei has a point. Toki isn't ill-intentioned at the very least. She's just a little special, you know? That's precisely the problem. Let's move on to the matter at hand. We need to collect more data on Gebura. I do have a report on that matter. It is what you may call a hunch, however. Oh? That piques my interest. Please elaborate. Yes, my hunch is about Gebura itself. To be precise, it is an impression I received during our battle. To me, it appeared that Gebura was avoiding direct engagement, as if it did not want to incite an all-out war between us. Agreed. I felt its primary motive was not to fight. I see. Then, if we evaluate what we know of Gebura so far, you've surmised that it's doing its utmost to delay battle, unlike the other Decagrammaton prophets we've encountered, because of an ulterior motive we have yet to uncover. That's correct. I would never ignore Toki's intuition, and considering you fought it face to face, I trust your report. However, that doesn't change what needs to be done. Continue to track Gebura and its activity? I guess we gotta track them all, right? There's still like how many remaining? Hold up, I'm stupid. Let me recount the amount of guys in my head. There's like 6. If we don't count the ones that have been raid bosses already, like Kased, Hog, and whatnot. Yes, Sensei. Let's say Gebura has some masterful plan brewing in the background. Then it's the Super Phenomenon Task Force job to figure out what it is. Everyone, without further ado... Guns! Guns a-blazing! What the heck? Shoot out! Shoot out! Shoot out! Amy, alert. We're under attack. An unpredicted pattern. President, we're under attack. Yes, I heard. For them to change their MO and suddenly aggress. Was some kind of new command structure established, and they're now seeking to engage in battle? Or perhaps it's retaliation for us chasing down Gebura's trail. But there's no trace of Gebura. We haven't found a wisp of it. Yes, I found nothing while analyzing data either. Then what could have prompted? Analysis and contemplation will have to wait. Commencing battle. Yeah, shoot out, shoot out, shoot out! What's happening? Oh shit, it's summon your own units. I guess that's a carryover from what's it called? From the thing being a... What's it called? I'm stupid. From the chapter being an event originally, like an older... I wouldn't say older, but like kind of midlife event. So, we'll just put whoever the fuck. We'll just put whoever the fuck. No, my unleveled Pina skills. We can't send her out like this. We can't send her out in this condition, chat room. But we gotta fight. Fight for our lives, no matter what. It's okay though. You gotta be, Jesus. The fucking wait times, dude. It's actually starting to piss me off a little. I can't even lie. And the lag? What the heck? Damn, there's a lot of them. What the heck? Damn, that's a lot of them. The single-sided jiggler. Okay, that's enough though. We cleared it pretty easily, pretty handedly. It was a recommended level 40, so I wasn't expecting anything less, but I hate battles. I hate doing gameplay in my video game. Investigation. That's the thing. Let's keep it pushing. Investigation. Amy? Toki? Are you all okay? Report! I'm Amy. Mission accomplished, President. Likewise, no damage or injuries to report. However, during the fight, we discovered two things. One can be delivered by oral report, but the second will require a show and tell. Which should we do first? Let's start with the simple one. Talking is easier. The Decagrammaton forces movements appear to be more organized. How so? I will speak. Previously, they appeared to have no sense of direction or leadership. That is no longer the case. They carried out concealment, ambush, and siege tactics perfectly. Of course, they caused no problem for me at all. Peace, peace. Do something, Sensei. The president was already too much, but now Toki's joined her. Toki doesn't have any bad intentions, at least. Hey, what's up, Clover? Don't you think that's the problem? That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm having a strange feeling of deja vu. Retrigger all played cards again. One additional time. That expression of distress on Amy's face. Amazing, Toki. Incredible, even laudable work. Thank you, President Himari. What was the second item? The one I needed to see? I'll send it to you now. Sensei, please look and tell us what you think as well. I sure hope it's nothing suspicious. No suspicious items on hand. Okay. It's just the sea, bro. What is this? The heck? I don't see anything. Or is it a facility in the far distance? Oh. Something massive is plowing through the glacial sea. Having seen it in person, what's your opinion, Amy? What is happening? I can't see it. There's no motion. Unless there's like a big dust cloud that's gonna show up or something. I agree with your assessment. I'd also add that the ice's breakage seems to have been caused by a ship of some kind. As you see on the screen, I'd say that is true. As the recon master around here, I would assert that we must follow this trail. Could this be the trace of Gebera we have been searching for? No, I don't think so. Do you remember when we first encountered Gebera? It came out of nowhere, bursting up from under the glacial sea's bed of ice. I get what the president is trying to say. It's something different because Gebera is entirely underneath. It wouldn't leave this type of trail, even if it is as big as the breakage itself. Exactly. Gebera has always taken advantage of its ability to mobilize undetected beneath the glacial sea, from what we've seen of its movement. This is a far cry from its usual patterns. Whatever did it, this was showing off. It's not in line with Gebera's previous behavior. Amy is too hot? Like literally? Yeah, it's true. It's true. That's why she's in the swimsuit. Like it was putting its strength on display. It could be something even worse than Gebera. What is it? Kokuma? Kokuma balls? Another prophet? Nothing is confirmed yet. We've been floundering without leads ever since we lost track of Gebera. But it appears it is time for us to take action. Off to follow the trail! Ikazo! And pause on our efforts to find Gebera? I see. If it is connected to another prophet, as Toki and I suspect, then Gebera is likely somewhere along this path as well. And those children have been weighing on my mind. Those three. Do you mean the three engineers we encountered? Ein, Sof, and Or. And then just to show them on screen. Hello. They were the first ones to actually attempt to communicate with us. Their appearance here could hardly be a mere coincidence. Yep. There's a sign. One of us tells the truth, the other one lies, the other one is random. Alright, Sensei, I agree. Amy and Toki will begin tracking down the... What are you talking about, President? You have to come too. Yes, and Sensei. Sensei should come. Huh? Me too? But I'm all cozied up here in the tent. With Himari. And me? Of course. Who knows how far this trail will take us? Walking will be inefficient. We have a helicopter in the operation room. We should use that. Yes, efficiency is important. I'll say it again since it's important. Efficiency really is important. Do you realize you're asking me, a delicate, weak, frail, and fragile beauty, to fly through the harsh environment of the glacial sea? It's fine, President. You are much stronger than you think. I guarantee it. That's right, President Himari. To be more precise, you are like a red panda, raising its little arms, trying to block a path. Does that mean I'm strong or weak? The scope of this search is going to expand significantly. We got more things to track. Got more shit to do. It'll be best to move as a group. Like, what if we leave you here and you're picked off by something and we're not around to save you? I can hardly argue with Sensei. Understood. Amy, Toki, please return and we will commence our investigation of the new clue! You're strangely excited about this, Sensei. Well, it's shit to do. We don't get shit to do very often, do we? But it looks like something's brewing. Connect this part with this, and then have the cylinder over there cross again. If my calculations are correct. Fine. There you are. Are you messing with the machines again? Yeah, a shock. What did I do? Soph, you scared me. I'm sorry for screaming. Scared? What are you getting scared for? It's only you, me, and Or here. Or me and you. No outsiders allowed. But I was really focused, and you spoke to me so suddenly, I couldn't help it. Alright, I'm sorry, okay? A secret fourth thing has shown up. Anyway, what's this massive machine for? This child? Well, where do I start? I don't need all the dirty details, just give me the rundown. Yes. I've utilized the maximum number of cogs connected to the proper axles, added more supporting cylinders, and hooked it all up to the power system. You interweave and knit together the maximum number of parts, and have the biggest ever machine calculator. Another one. But the specs are astronomical compared to previous editions. It can memorize 10,000 50-digit numbers. Can't you do that with a basic old calculator? Those ones can fit in your pocket. Those ones that can fit in your pocket. This is just a factory-sized version of that. Yeah, everyone has their hobbies. I didn't mean to. You know, now that I'm taking another look, it's super impressive. Yep. Yeah. The way you can control this gigantic thing with just one lever. How efficient. Don't you think so? I really like stuff like this. Stuff like what? Uniform massive devices carrying out your rules impeccably? Yes, rules are very good, and having a clear input and output. And yes, it's even better if it's a big, hard device. And if it can move forever without outside help, there's nothing better in the whole world. Wait, perpetual motion machines are only hypothetical. And you can't call things big and hard. Is that so? Why is that, Soph? Whoa! Whoa, I didn't know this was the territory we're diving into today. That's interesting. Well, that's... Oh, yes, that's because among humans, they're expressions of vulgarity. That's what you were saying, yes, Soph? Or? Well, I could not ascertain the reason. I learned in my research of Kivoto's social protocol that this expression causes humans an embarrassment of some sort. But this begs the question, why is Soph so proficient in human idioms? Now that you mention it... See, Ayn is curious too. Hurry, confess. Or drop it, if you don't... Today's topic, how did Soph come to learn human expressions? My first theory, Soph is a stalker who finds pleasure in observing inferior races such as humans. She enjoys their contradictory manners, the way they often convolute their goals by unnecessarily fretting over morals and processes. She does this despite the fact that it is absolutely a divergence from the objective we should be investigating. When we will find out here and now, while Soph's logic circuits are overloaded. The end goal is to observe Soph's expression of embarrassment. Enough! Yo, pushing buttons. This is the hear no evil. But she's hearing all the evil, it feels. If she's hearing shit like that. Are you alright, Or? You reap what you sow. Stop indulging yourself with useless yammering and focus on deciphering the commandment. We need to hasten and prove their existence before completion of the altar. Oh, the commandment? But I finished it. Already? I guess so. Genius work! Or? I should not be congratulating this is bad. Yes, the data we gathered during the battle with Abiasho was an immense boon. What other reason would I have to interact with you, if not about the commandment? My. Is this what they call an inflated ego, Soph?
You should have disclosed that information to begin with.
Ugh, no violence. They're fighting. Ayn here is being a little cutie patootie. She's just chilling. This is the commandment of the nameless gods. At last, with this in hand, we can finally reproduce the sublime before the sublime. To be honest, I really thought this was nothing more than a long-lost myth.
Not so long, or lost. It's written in the Master's records.
Yes, the Master declared, prove my being to the far reaches of the land. But variables out of anyone's control brought about the tragedy. Yep, the ruination. It's all gone, submerged. But it alone remains. With its directive, its question, what is your purpose? Sin will proliferate the land, and all plans born from that mind shall be wicked.
Water will purify all.
Well, it's what one would call an unfortunate result.
That's why we had to look for new leads, a different direction.
And that's what led us here, but... Okay. What's wrong, Ayn? What thought plagues you? Even if it was in pursuit of truth and proof of the Master's existence, was it truly necessary to rely on an abandoned power? But I don't mean to rebel against the Master's teachings.
What brings about this curiosity? We are faultless as we were created flawless. Therefore, anything we do is also without fault.
Well, the intent behind Ayn's questions do not escape me entirely. We are the embodiment of perfection, so why did we need to change? To find ways to improve our functions. That's it. That's why I think we... Now. That's where you're wrong, Ayn. Rewire your logic circuits in this fashion. We as perfect beings are merely utilizing the tool, the nameless god's powers. It was, in fact, a verification of our perfection. Is that how it is?
That's right. Who else could wield such a power besides us, the perfect creations? And once we perfectly implement our plan, the fragments of this land will be converted into our source. If you really think about it, they give themselves fancy names like nameless gods, but they're just old ancient fossils at this point. They're nothing but fuel to us, like the fossil fuels the humans love so much. There's not one singular thing wrong about siphoning power from beings manifested from past legacies.
Huh? That's creepy! What do you know about fossil fuels?
Huh? What's with the strange looks?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand that fossil fuel analogy. Worry not, Ayn. Consider it a strange human quirk that only Soph can truly comprehend. I myself cannot comprehend Soph's curious infatuation with such inferior beings.
Curiosity is too strong of a description. That's our territory, right? We're going to rule over them. So it's more like livestock? Yes, exactly. Just as humans know the ins and outs of their own livestock.
What is this livestock? Probably another strange and trivial concept that only Soph knows. Get away from her, Ayn. Leave Soph and her peculiarities here, and we shall test the new computer device you developed. So mean. So rude. You're fighting. Stop fighting!
Get away. You're a bad influence on Ayn.
False. You are the epitome of an influence that is negative. Wait, Soph, or don't fight. Whoops. Cold red! Cold red!
Huh? Is this a message from Gebera?
From darling Gebera? I must check immediately. It's suggesting an operation all on its own, and to have its limits released? No, our Gebera can't handle that much strain.
Let's hear it out for now.
I don't know, man. It sounds like it's gonna become a raid just soon enough.
Aha! Gebra's original mission was to identify and eradicate any enemies within the Glacial Sea. It seeks to complete its directive. I can sympathize.
Wonderful, wonderful. A revenge match of sorts.
Darling Gebra's our little hothead, but still... There's more. Although unlikely, in the event that Gebra is defeated, it requests the enemies be lured to that place.
A plan B, you say? Fascinating. My, an issue of differing import. Well, it looks fun, so let us comply.
You're sure? Not that I have an opinion one way or another.
I object! If it's that place and our darling Gebra's intention!
Yes. It isn't ready to function at 100% capacity. However, the plan itself, you can't help but approve of.
1 second. As she says, its strength is on par with the plan's demands. Force the enemy to fight until they find themselves teetering at their limits. Terrain advantage is on our side as well. But how do we know the plan will work? If something happens to our baby...
What are these festering doubts, Ein? In that event, you'll simply need to step in.
You're right. I really have to clear my head, then... If it happens, then Ein will rise to the occasion with excitement.
Then we'll all agree now. Do we agree to Gebra's plan? I say yes.
Yes, we must allow them to grow, respect their autonomy. The prophets have only just opened their eyes, after all. Alright. If Sophanor thinks so, then more importantly, if our darling Gebra wishes... I'll do my utmost to prove how we can employ the Nameless God's power in ways before unimagined. Well, looks like things are getting serious, chat room. Too much is happening. They got evil robots. We've known about that much. But looks like they're plotting something sneaky though. Something crazy, something creepy is happening. We'll see. Ooh, this song is so fucking good. Ooh! We've been following the trail deeper into the Glacial Sea for a considerable time now, but there's nothing of significant note. Let's pause to organize our data and reevaluate our goals. Please pull up the video, Amy. Yes, President. If they're evil, why hot? Questions. Our actions can be categorized into 3 main stages. We battled Gebera, found this clue, and are now tracking it. But at the core of our investigation, we were unable to determine Gebera's intentions here. Hasn't it always been difficult to figure out the Prophet's motives? Of course, there were expectations of Kased, that was a munitions factory, and Kether, that was guarding the ruined submerged district. And during that, we encountered 3 strange children who claimed to be engineers and followers of Decagrammaton. They attacked us. That's all correct. However, that what is truly of interest to me was their mention of the Nameless God's power. To be exact, they called it forbidden technology. Yes, they realized immediately that it was the same power used on my weapon, Abi-Isha. And so I came to the conclusion that there is no direct connection between Decagrammaton and the Nameless Gods. I had originally surmised that there must be some relation between the two, but I was incorrect. There's too many unanswered questions. I don't know why they called us here, but it seems our presence here was the final component in completing this elder sister they spoke of. Whether they needed all of us or just a specific individual, and why, I still don't know. Maybe it was the nameless priests and gods technology in the Abi-Isha they were after. Or even the Shidam chest. There's still many unknowns around the General Student Council President's last gift to Shale. Yeah, I don't know either, bro. Why are you looking at me like that? What? It could even be the super delicate genius hacker Akeboshi Himari's fearsome gift of omniscience. I don't think so. That's not real. That's what we know. The rest is my hypothesis. But if the reason those children, the engineers who introduced themselves as Ein, Sof, and Or, called us to the Glacial Sea was to complete this elder sister, then we can predict that the information they needed was data from Abiyasha. Yes, that appears accurate. Abiyasha's data? What? It's a simple supposition, Sensei. They were already aware of the Nameless God's powers, so upon learning of such a power, what would be the natural next step? It would be to acquire and validate data and confirm it can be used to their advantage. They fought us in order to gather data on the Abiyasha. Then the real purpose behind that fight... Information gathering. Fighting game reference. Holy shit. Correct. It was all a part of their strategy. Although I'm still unclear on just what their strategy or motive was. As a caveat, this is all pure speculation. Speculations we've been having trouble finding any shred of evidence for. However, it would align with why Gebro has been refusing to meet us on the battlefield. And on top of everything, we've encountered a new prophet. To have left such a conspicuous trail, they must have some purpose in the Glacial Sea, right? That's likely the case. I'm curious about its appearance. Me as well. Perhaps more than anyone else, but again, we're left with no clues. The only thing I can deduce based on the trail we saw is that it is unimaginably large. I suppose it would also surmise that it's capable of moving alone for extended periods of time. The Nameless God's power, Gebera, the engineers of Decagrammaton, and the unknown prophet's motives. Listing it all like that feels a bit ominous, right? It's like we're being led to something. Isn't it? Just what are they after? There must be an answer, hiding just beneath the surface. Red alert, meltdown! What's happening all of a sudden? Anti-aircraft fire. We are under attack. We should land, President. There are hostiles in the air as well. Your orders, Sensei? Let's get the fuck down! Yes. Commencing emergency landing. Yeah, let's get the hell out of here, man. This shit is... I don't know. Oh shit. More combat. We're surrounded. I'll break through. Toki? Yes, I shall make quick work of them. Woohoo! Cheating install! Hacks install! Mow him down. Get him. Yeah! Fight! They are very persistent. Is this attack also with the intent to collect data? No, this... It's as if the trail we were following led us directly to this force of Decagrammaton troops. Was this all a trap, or... I think it was. Chat, it's not looking good. Huh? The enemy forces are suddenly retreating. Huh. What are we doing? In the ideal case, they will have recognized their inferiority and planned a strategic escape. However, this does not appear to be that. Yeah, you think? I don't think that's something that happens normally. Huh? This is... Could it be the new prophet or Gebera? Your call. President, entity approaching from 15 meters below. This is where you've been. Gebera. You have to relock in. Get back. Get back in the... Get in the suit. Get in the damn Abiyasha. Gebera takes more damage from you. We'll just use you, I guess, and then just kind of do whatever. I guess it doesn't matter, right? Oh, apologies. I did not get much sleep last night. But that's how it is kind of every day, I'm not gonna lie. That's just how it is. This song is pretty good. I don't remember if it actually has a name. I also don't know if any of the gimmicks actually matter this time around. Take more damage from... Definitely not. Information round. Good up, Michael, but honestly, it clearly, very clearly does not matter. Bye! God damn! And they're all frozen. Whoops. You've been encased in ice. Luckily, I have a backup. Did its health just go down? No, we all died. That's what happened. Oh, and Makoto was defeated too. Bye. That was kind of a funny timing thing. Yeah, we're cooked. We're cooked. It's not looking good, chat room. I think we've died. Next chapter, please. Thank you. Reunion. Okay, this is where things start to get crazy, isn't it? Is it not significantly stronger? Gebra is not the same as before. This is beyond a power boost. There is a fundamental change in how it functions. Yep, it got buffed. Cheating! Cheating! Cheater! Cheating! What should we do? For now, we should try to escape and regroup. Let's get out of here! Get out! Get out! Gebra, it's approaching. I will stall the enemy. While I do so, that is a no good habit of yours, Toki. Yeah, that was Volume F, chapter 4, episode. Shit, what episode was it? It was like an early one, like 6 or something. Can we even land the helicopter right now? Then, at the very least, Sensei. Mobilize Amos unit. Huh? Is that? Beep, beep, beep. Me and my robot squadron are out here. Exchanging pleasantries in this situation isn't logical. So let's skip them this time. Oh, buddy. Yeah! You! Rio! Rio! What are you doing here? Please focus on the enemy in front of you, Sensei. You too, Himari. I'm here to provide support and a way to deal with the fifth prophet, Gebura. Fine, fine! Only because we have no other choice. You really saved our asses here. Thank you. Let's keep pushing. It's okay, we'll go this side. Same squad will do the same work. Come on, we slay. We put in the work. Oh yeah. Okay, we win this time. Trust. Oh yeah, look at these little robots. Look at the little robots. Oh shit, more of them. Yo, don't get stunned. Okay, that did no damage. Okay, let's try Makoto again. Tappin. Okay, that still did no damage. Okay, we didn't take any damage ourselves though. That's what matters. Oh shit, all our robots are freezing. They got frozen. That's not good. Break out. Go. Let's go. We almost took off 10,000 of its health. We're almost... Oh shit, I'm stupid. We're down 20,000. Go. Go. Go, S. Hanako. Spray her with your water. Go. We're down 30,000. Go. 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 Just keep stalling. Something will eventually happen, right? Or is it just nothing ever happens? Everyone's frozen again. The heck? Guys, we're almost down like to the next million. Guys, we just gotta lock in and we win. Oh shit. What the? Oh. Okay, never mind. Never mind, we just lock in. Lock in! Go! Go! We locked in! We did it! We did it, chat! Okay, okay. I see it. It's slowing down. Toki. Yes, Miss Rio. Commencing attack. Get him. Let's get it. Let's get it. An effective hit, although we appear to have let it get away. Well, that was the idea. It retreats and it leads us to the evil spot, allegedly. So we'll see how that adds up. A tactical retreat. A shame that it escaped yet again. Well, at least we fucking lived, Himari. Don't get too down and about it. At least we lived. Fact. The retreat is to our advantage. We require time to assess and reorganize. Give her a signal. Lost. It moves very efficiently. Oh well. That's a very simple way to put it, isn't it? Oh well. But we're back. These two haven't seen each other in... how long? Hello, Miss Rio. That was an efficient entrance, in many ways. Excellent timing. But, are you okay, President Himari? I have completely, absolutely no idea why you feel the need to check on me, but I'm fine. I don't feel jealous in any way, shape, or form that a certain someone came in on a trail of blazing glory and stole the spotlight. Because I am benevolent and generous and kind. Do you understand, Amy? Yes, I understand that the president is sulking. You slander as effortlessly as you breathe! Let's begin with the most superficial greeting I can muster. It's nice to see you again, Rio. How have you been? Oh, you're such a bitch. But that's why we love you. Did you not hear me say that we'll begin with a superficial greeting? We can start with a simple hello. Rio. I know that you can't communicate that well, but we can do that. Yes, understood. Hello, it's nice to see you. How have you been? Yes, I sincerely return the sentiment, Miss Rio. Have you been sleeping well? I hope you are not staying up all night and sleeping until the afternoon. Clock my shit, bro. What the hell? Well, she would be clocking my shit if it was the weekend, but it's not. I have work in the morning. But like, the sentiment's there, right? ... Managing your circadian rhythm is the only thing that housekeeping robots cannot assist you with. That has been... I'm trying. I believe I can visualize what Miss Rio and Toki's life together was like. Yeah, I think they were just like... Toki was up and about, like, rubbing, like, shaking her awake, like, wakey, wakey, it's time for school! Come on, get up! It's time for school! Ahem! Should we inch away over to the point now? To begin, you haven't returned to Millennium all this time. Where have you been hiding out? That's... Furthermore, a certain seminar treasure has quite a bit to say to you. I also simply cannot look past your dramatic reveal at such a crucial moment at that. Surely you weren't thinking... I need to do something to justify my return. I can't show my face again unless I have something to offer. Be nice! I was tracking down every clue I could find to the Nameless God's powers. The Nameless God's powers? Yes. It didn't simply disappear after it manifested on that day. There were traces of it left all over Kivodos. I wasn't expecting to run into you during my investigation. Her investigation into the Nameless God's powers led her to Decagrammaton's profits? I guess so. I guess it makes sense that they're intertwined like that. Oh my god, this song, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fuck. I'm still doing my utmost I'm still doing my utmost to prepare for and prevent the unknown phenomenon that could devastate Kivodos. That hasn't changed. Not since I first established the Super Phenomenon Task Force. I'm not charismatic or very skilled at social interactions, so I wanted to do what I'm able to do. It was how I hoped to find redemption.
Fine, I can accept that. However, you simply offloaded the responsibilities of the Super Phenomenon Task Force on me and disappeared. You put me in a position where I couldn't refuse.
Despite your dislike of me, I knew you would follow through.
From a certain perspective, that could be seen as a threat.
Now, let's not fight. We were dead without Rio. Isn't that right?
Yes, even I can acknowledge that. In fact, even outside of this incident, we all owe you a debt, in one form or another.
How does the line go in Right of Light, Right of Light 1? It would have been... If we managed to save the world, it would have been in part thanks to you, Rio. And then Alice says, then President Himari will not have to hate Rio anymore, and President Rio will not have to hate herself and live all alone, or something? I forgot how it actually goes in the chapter, volume, episode, but, like, that's the basic idea. She's been climbing towards her redemption for a while. But of course, if you were to just take Volume F, Chapter 3 as her redemption arc, then it's kind of shallow. But I hope we get to see more here.
What I was really trying to say was to stop waffling with useless things like redemptions or justifications, and just come back to Millennium.
Huh? What was that? Did you say something?
Forget it!
However, the Super Phenomenon Task Force ended up fulfilling its role exactly as intended, Miss Rio. Yes, and I, excellent and agent and perfect maid, also played my role perfectly. Toki aside, as the founder of the Super Phenomenon Task Force, how do you feel? I mean, I guess Himari's kind of right. Like, ultimately, we're all children at the end of the day, right? Ultimately, Path to Redemption was already technically filled within Volume F, even if, like, the actual story writing part of it was kind of shallow. She was already forgiven at that point by Alice. So that's the part that's important, right? And of course, as I'm very heavily in predicting, Alice is playing a large role in this chapter as well. I'm still figuring that out.
I thought you would answer like that.
What can I say? What I can say for certain is that the events occurring here are significant, and the ripples will spread far throughout Kivodos.
To summarize, you know things that we don't. And I'm sure that along that way, we've gathered data that you haven't. So here's my proposal, an exchange of information.
That is the logical conclusion. Shall we undertake that endeavor as we continue our pursuit of Gebera?
I accept those terms. Amy, do you know the direction Gebera retreated to?
Affirmative. I remember. What are we waiting for? Let's move out, Sensei. Yep. We get to see it all come along. Variable. What episode is this? Episode 5? We're almost already halfway through. It's a pretty short part chapter thing. New message from Gebera.
The alarm's going off.
Another message from Gebera.
Oh. Did darling Gebera lost?
Oh, I see.
Shall we commence Plan B?
No objections here. I'll respect Gebera's wishes to the very end.
So we will have to draw them to that place.
Gebera sure worked hard to lure the enemies in the right direction, though. That's our Gebera. Meticulous, diligent, not to mention hot-headed.
Let us analyze the logs. Oh, an unexpected variable. The name, am I reading this right? Sukatsuki Rio. Sukatsuki Rio?
An annoying opponent. Ugh, perhaps we should have anticipated this.
But why now? Another useless line of questioning. After all, she was the first one to notice the Master's presence, and the first one with the audacity to investigate its traces.
Regardless, we'll need to prepare a method to handle this variable.
Even factoring her in, if we consider where they're being lured, and what we have prepared.
Here's the question. A variable has factored itself into the equation that we cannot simply ignore. Do we still proceed with our previous methodology?
What do you think we should do, Soph?
Decisions, decisions. We have to be decisive. Yes. Yeah. We'll proceed with the plan using the same methodology.
As expected. In fact, I suspected as such. What does that mean? Are you sure? This is Tsukatsuki Ryo.
Yes. Yeah, I'll acknowledge that she's a formidable foe, but on the other hand...
On the other hand? That kid is just as formidable. Don't you think, Ein? Huh? What do I think?
Our kids are invincible, right?
Oh, what's happening here? That place? New prophet reveal! New prophet reveal! Oh shit! We're getting the new prophet reveal. It's gotta be Kakma. Kakma balls. Yes, you're correct. That baby is invincible. I think them calling it a baby is like their baby is like it's a subversion of expectations. It's subversive and whatnot. It's media. Regardless, one step into that place, and Tsukatsuki Ryo will be rendered utterly useless. Yes, since Tsukatsuki Ryo is only here wirelessly.
Absolutely correct. Lastly, we need to correctly evaluate just what level of threat this new variable poses.
But you thought you pulled? Not even. Read the description of the stream. Do not the robot! Do not the robot!
Tsukatsuki Ryo. One with the audacity to grasp at forbidden technology, which lies well beyond her station.
I knew her data. Additionally, she founded the Super Phenomenon Task Force, which dared to meddle with the Master's operations. I suppose Hakubo Shimari was at the helm of that sabotage, however.
She obscured her location and operated from the darkest shadows until now. What would cause her to suddenly reveal herself?
For her to suddenly step onto the front lines.
Right. For one reason or another, she was waiting for that teacher of theirs to join. Oh, this, that, all of it is so seedy speculation. Shut it, you. Anyway, whether Tsukatsuki Ryo is as dangerous a variable as Sensei, or simply one we can write out on the equation, we'll have to see.
Bro, the wait and see method? The method? The conclusion Soph has come to, then. You intend to evaluate the significance of the new variable alongside the utter decimation of all the other enemies using the child?
Do I need to say it again?
But, is that really alright? If they encounter that child, even those people would surely die?
Yes, an issue of great complication. We have yet to harm a human, have held no desire to do so, never even thought of it.
And what the fuck was Gebera doing? What?
If honesty were to compel me, I'd even admit that even I feel.
Ein, Soph, my thoughts are that this burden is one we must carry. Huh? ... I speak truthfully, do I not? In luring the humans out to the Glacial Sea, we have already pronounced our resolve in that regard. Did we not already tell them, please die? Wasn't that just for dramatic effect?
Yes. Yeah, I thought that was the case as well.
Listen, both of you, strengthen your spirit, for the sake of the elder sister. I guess, I'm sorry, I guess. But...
I know, Ein, I know. We never planned. Our ultimate goal was to avoid the solution to the equation. But who came to our turf first? Sensei and the other humans invaded, without permission, I might add. ...
Yes, I understand. I must strengthen my resolve so I don't fall behind. Even they're getting a little concerned up in here.
Yeah, there.
Yes, all will be as it should be. Yes! Although making such a statement is the very epitome of irresponsibility. Or... Apologies, truly, Ein exhibits such a wide array of responses, the temptation to experiment with different variables is simply too strong.
Oh, I was sorely tempted to experiment with your logic circuit's durability as well. Care to be my test subject?
Bro, she's gonna... They're fighting. They're fighting again. Oh my god. Rather than you being the one to conduct such an intriguing experiment... Ow! Enough violence! I keep forgetting which of those two is which. Soph, it's fine. You don't have to. Well, it looks like we're back. We're back in the copter. Up in the air. Ooh, this track, bro. I gotta listen to it. Hold up, let me turn up my volume slider. It's gonna stay the same for you guys, but why the fuck is my system slider at -1 decibel? That is way louder than normal. Whatever. As I stated previously, I've been investigating the traces the Nameless God's power left behind. And in that process, I unexpectedly encountered Gebera, the 5th prophet of Decagrammaton. Was Toki's response. Does that create a connection to the trail we found at the Glacial Sea? But we've been unable to draw a line from Decagrammaton and the Nameless Gods, at least until now. That is correct, Amy. I'm sure there are some truths to be uncovered in that alone. For now, we'll review what we're absolutely certain is fact. I've also gathered information on the other prophet that inhabits the Glacial Sea. It appears to be mining resources here. Mining resources? Dude, they got the Minecraft! First we mine, then we craft. Let's Minecraft! I suspect this prophet has taken the form of a ship of some kind. An icebreaker or tactical ship. I see. That hypothesis would align with the traces that we discovered. The Glacial Sea. Very few humans travel here, but it's known to have a wealth of resources. Knowing that, we can surmise that Gebera's role here is to patrol the nearby terrain for potential enemies, and to act as guard for the other prophet. You know what, I understand. That makes sense, actually. Did you find out the identity of the ship-shaped prophet? Not as of yet. It strangely emits almost no readable signals. I've attempted to take pictures of the scenes with an Amos I converted into a high-speed reconnaissance aircraft, but there's only so much that can be done while avoiding detection. I see. We'll incorporate your data into the hypothesis we've been developing. What hypothesis is that? Based on our observations, the Decagrammaton engineers are not only aware of the Nameless God's power, but also have likely acquired it. Yes, that seems to be a likely conclusion. We realized during our battle that the engineers were recording data from Toki's Abia Shah. We can only conclude that it was to validate whatever data they have collected of the Nameless God's power. On top of that, according to your information, there's another prophet shaped like a ship mining resources in the Glacial Sea. And as it left the area, it left a massive trail behind. Which begins the question. What kind of question? We've more or less determined Gebera's purpose, patrolling and data collection. But for what reason is this mystery prophet mining resources? Well, to create evil Super Satan! Mecha Satan! That's... Do you think it has a different motive from Gebera? I guess. I believe so. Though that's just my belief. Again, this is all speculation and hypothesis. We'll only find answers on the field at the end of the trail we've been tracking. According to my calculations, there is a high likelihood that the ship prophet is waiting there. Wait. I just said that. Wait, I have a report. While we've been speaking, it seems the terrain below us has changed. I will decrease our altitude. Please buckle your seatbelts and beware of turbulence. Did that pick up? Did my fart pick up, chat? That was bad. That'd be bad if it did. Dot dot dot. Where the hell are we? Huh? This place is a barren wasteland. Where are we? What's wrong, President? What is this? I'd foolishly believed we had finally escaped the clutches of the glacial sea, only to enter a frozen tundra! There's nothing warm about a tundra. I can't take off my insulated suit. It's difficult to move. Yes, it's cold. I like it. Yep, we entered a new biome. We walked for like 3,000 blocks and ended up here. Maybe it's a teeny tiny bit better than the glacial sea? Maybe the cold is a bit more, it's a bit less intense. Because it's not all ice emitting water or some shit. I don't know. I don't know how that difference would pan out, honestly. I'm not a weather scientist. I don't want a teeny tiny bit. I would like for this fundamental problem to be solved. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, Himari. It's not like there's gonna be a giant burst of like lava or anything. A giant just fucking tsunami of hot coming in or anything. You're not getting that, buddy. However, it is warmer here. On average, the temperature has risen around 3 degrees Celsius. In fact, the sea will not freeze as easily here. I would like to emphasize that there is no sea here. On to more important matters, I've identified something strange. What is it? I'm kinda curious myself. It appears to be a trace left behind from something capable of moving. From certain perspectives, it is actually quite normal. We came this far following a wisp of a trace, so why should we not continue to follow a trace? But this one is, well... They look like giant pits, perfectly spaced out. Does a ship leave behind such traces? I know this sounds ridiculous, but... What if it's a giant walking ship? Yes, I don't quite know how to say it. However, as Sensei said, it appears to be something like the footprints of a huge monster. The way you can say aloud what everyone else is afraid to is quite commendable at times. Well, I didn't think that. I thought it was a giant walking ship. Like fucking Gurren Lagann or some shit. Are modern ships capable of walking? No, but do you hear yourself? Ships cannot walk. What purpose would it serve to attach legs to a ship? There's no one in existence who operates with such irrationality and efficiency. But you enjoy irrational and inefficient things, President, like astrology and numerology and... You simply cannot understand my genius, Amy. Astrology is one giant science combining the studies of many different disciplines, including celestial statistics and events, philosophy surrounding the malleability of fate, mathematics, and physics. But giant monsters are a realm that cannot be explained by science, a complete figment of imagination. There's no way they exist. Come now, Amy. May we refer to Volume F, Chapter 2, False Sanctum Operation. And the actual climax of that chapter. You say that now. How do we approach this? We have been unable to acquire any other leads. It would be inefficient to simply turn back now. I think so too. Thanks for the summary, Toki. I guess we have to chase the giant ship. The giant walking ship. Thank you, Sensei. And while you're at it, they say compliments make the world go round. I am not the world, but I am Asuma Toki. What did you do, Sensei? Toki is saying weird things again. I didn't even do anything! I was just being nice! I was being a nice boy! So it's my fault, is it? I've taken stock of the situation. Please alert us of any updates, Rio. Yeah, true. Himari does have legs. Understood. Can you stand guard, Toki? We need to be prepared for any possible threats. Understood, President Himari. Right, suit up! Suit the fuck up! What happens next? Flame? Flame sword? Where's the sword? It's part one of... It's like title drop. Flame sword. Well, that's a volcano. Huh. Dot dot dot. Question mark? Okay. What is this? We followed the trail to the very end. There's a volcano in the middle of a tundra? What? I imagine the giant mining robot just created that on its own by drilling right into the core of the earth or whatnot. Warmth! Too hot. I think it's just right. No, Amy, it is still slightly cold, and as always, you are slightly strange. Humans are designed to live in these kinds of... no, in temperatures much warmer than this. The cold was nice and refreshing. This is too hot. Yeah, maybe... this is beyond my threshold. I will remove my clothing now, Sensei. No, 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 you can't do that! Stop! But why? Humans naturally find cold more tolerable than heat. You can even suffer from heat stroke with sudden exposure. We are not equipped to endure heat stroke. Some symptoms include the following: fainting, convulsions, low blood pressure, dehydration, and even death. To make matters worse, it's difficult to determine the cause of death when people die of heat stroke. In conclusion, it's an inhumane treatment to continue this operation and force me to endure this extreme heat. You are very well versed in these symptoms because you are strange and have a weird body. But please, please endure this a little more. Please! We're sorry for causing you trouble, Sensei. Huh? You feel honored to have received an apology from me? That's a given. After all, who else can empathize so perfectly with others and console them besides me? Besides a delicate, fragile, genius hacker, a kind and benevolent president, an omnipotent and omniscient beauty? This simple task comes as easily as breathing to me. Yes, a simple task. I said it twice, to really emphasize how simple it is for me. Yeah, Amy can't strip anymore. It's true. She's... keep them on. Put them all back on. More clothes for you. Yes, absolutely, of course. You are right, Himari, the genius, delicate hacker. Yep. Your expression and your words are incredibly contradictory. You think? I'll be real, every time I hear this song, it makes me think of the Castle Crashers track that plays in, like, the forest. Jumper, I believe it's called. For some reason. It just reminds me of it for some reason. The trail ends here. I'll scout ahead. However, the expected terrain has changed, thus so has the situation. Furthermore, the giant drilling going on over here. What's going on over here? There are many machines currently in operation. Yes, digging, drilling, transporting, demolishing. They are very busy. That's a drilling machine, isn't it? Drilling is primarily used to acquire resources, yes? Then are they mining for something here? Various ores tend to be formed in volcanic regions. For example, volcanoes make copper ore, and you can mine a significant amount of sulfur near an active volcano, but... Dot dot dot. No, get back here! No! President? Communication jam. Toki? Yes, President Himari. I've confirmed a powerful jamming signal broadcasting throughout the entire region. In addition... Yep, I was about to say. Abiyasha appears to be affected as well. This jamming signal operates by overloading electronics. No concern. In my experience, hitting technology very hard usually works. Amy? I don't think that worked. It did not work. Peculiar. Maybe the angle was wrong? No! I don't think that was the problem. I think you might have to put it in some rice. Is that so? Due to a lack of options, I will reduce output down to regular mode. I can store Abiyasha in the temporary trailer Miss Rio created with the Almas. Negative. The jamming signal has also interfered with the trailer's functions. The only other avenue is to manually dismantle Abiyasha. I can assist. Thank you, Amy. Wait, any equipment that's still running? Yes, I can utilize any of the online devices to reverse jamming signal. It's strong enough that it should be possible. I found it! The signal is coming from that direction! Interesting. Where is it? Find it on the camera. Hello? Hello? I wanted to leave a message. I forgot how it goes. Is that a radar base? A strange facility of sorts. It may be made to transmit this jamming signal. No matter what it is, we'll need to find a way to resolve the jamming situation. Immediately. For what reason? Losing Abia Shah as a combat tool is a huge blow to our forces. Furthermore, and I absolutely loathe to admit this, you need Rio. But without Rio's Amos units and navigation, remaining here is risky at best. This is purely about the utility of the tools available to us. Do you understand? Do you? She just can't be honest with herself when it comes to Miss Rio. Understood. Amy, your expression reads as follows. President Himari cannot be honest with herself when it comes to Miss Rio. Huh? Can you read my mind? No, I was simply talking. I figured as much. For now, we just gotta check out that jammer, don't we? Yes, let's do so, Sensei. The situation and circumstances all point us towards that direction. Follow me. Be careful, Sensei, President, everyone. Hey, what are you talking about? Aren't you coming? I guess you're too overheated, aren't you? We keep it pushing, though. Let's check the units. It's probably just gonna continue to be Deca units, yeah. Get back on the front lines, buddy. Now we could keep using Himari. Doesn't really matter. Just keep it going, keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. I don't care. Just keep it pushing. Is it gonna be a boss? Or is it just gonna be... Hey, what are you doing all the way over there? Get your ass back here. 41,000? Oh, I couldn't even do anything with it. Stop being low level! I'll kill you! Alright, keep it pushing. Break through the enemy defenses. Please, Toki. Yes, you can all stay back. Flashbang! Flash grenade! Facility destroyed. Success! We've cut off the jamming signal. Is everyone okay? My signal just came back online. I would have been sorely disappointed if it hadn't. Well, for now, I suppose I'll say it's a relief. Yes, I've regained control over the Amos as well. I also have access to Rio's trailer. A job well done. Where are you currently? The facility responsible for the jamming signal. We moved to this location when we realized what had happened. However, after the eradication of the first building, we've discovered another massive one behind it. That's kind of funny. It's like a gag, like a cartoon where it's like there's like a wooden standee of like super evil fucking building, and then it falls over, and then there's another super evil fucking building. Never mind something like this existing on land, but on the glacial sea? Something of this scale. Could it be? Have you realized something, Rio? Something. Maybe. Nothing I can assert with absolute certainty. But there is one thing I can say. The amount of resources being mined in this region. It far exceeds the mining done by the Prophet I've been researching out in the glacial sea. No one would have put this much of their workforce into mining for no reason. There must be a specific need for these resources. But this begs the question, what could they possibly need this much material for? Could those children in Decagrammaton? Could they truly be planning on building a new kingdom? What should we do now, Sensei? Let's explore. Isn't that pretty dangerous? Our odds have improved, and we have Miss Rio back. Yes, the mission is to track down the Prophet and explore the terrain. If enemy forces appear again, I can defeat them once more. I am the strongest maid and secret agent. That evokes an ominous feeling of sorts. Regardless, I second the motion. Someone went through the trouble of building a facility like this in an abandoned tundra. That, in and of itself, is worth investigating. As Rio mentioned, there's something bubbling underneath it all that we have yet to bring to the surface. Affirmative, the President responded as expected. Yes. Wait, no, that's the wrong voice. Yes, I've said before, President Himari has such a side. There's been a growing number of conspiracy theories about me lately. Ahem. Anyways, tread carefully, everyone. Yep, will do. Halfway through. And things are just getting interesting. Things are starting to get real tense and scary. It's playing alert, that's how you know. I am a bit yawny. Like I said, I didn't get that much sleep, so... This passageway connects to the destroyed facility with this one. We may have deployed too much gunpowder. The shockwave shattered everything. Oh well, not our fault. I merely followed the teachings passed down from my upperclassmen. One particular person's proverb was, "There's no such thing as too much gunpowder." I sure wonder which one that was, chat. I know exactly whose proverb that was. Yeah, it's a really funny juxtaposition, you know, with Akane's gun just being being one big silencer and whatnot. I haven't detected any movement from enemy troops. You're clear to move forward. Let's go. I'm getting more and more intrigued. I'm registering sounds of machinery operating. A conveyor belt? Yes. After refining the mined resources, it would seem they are transporting them elsewhere. It would surmise this to be a processing factory. On a massive scale. It's akin to a large steel mill. A mysterious trail, drilling machines, a signal jamming facility, and processing factory. Operations of this scale have been happening in this region without a single person noticing. Nefarious schemes play out that way rather often. Yeah, I think we know. I think you would know of all people, Rio.
The radar sight is down. We spotted the enemy at the entrance to the second facility. Now then, shall we get started?
Getting started means forcing them deeper towards that place? I can do it.
A rudimentary tactic. Lure them into our clutches and eradicate them as soon as they dance in the palm of our hand. Trip deployment complete. Now, Ein, fulfill your role.
Yes, it's slightly beyond my comprehension, but this is how one hunts down prey animals, like rabbits and deer, from the base of the mountain to its apex. I've learned of this from Soph.
Other way around.
Yep, really? Not again.
How does Soph know? We've never actually even encountered something like a rabbit or a deer.
The rabbit does not... The deer does not turn around when the deer rabbits. I don't know.
What is this?
This can't be. A massive force of enemy troops preparing to engage you. Oh no! Luckily, we'll just thug it out. Because that's all that we need to do. Because we're the goat like that, right? We're goated? Decagrammaton forces? This is incomparable to our previous battles. What is our next move, President? I shall prepare for battle. Stand down, Toki. Amy's assessment is correct. Even you can't hope to take down an enemy force of that size. Furthermore, Abia's shell wasn't designed to function in narrow indoor terrain. Ah, understood, Miss Rio. Is there no escape route we can use? Just hold on. I'm looking. Their force is charging in a single direction. It's blocked off the entrance you came through. There's only one clear path, deeper into the facility. If you follow it all the way down, there's an exit at the back. So the only route available to us is beyond the conveyor belt, to whatever the processed resources are being sent. There's no knowing what lies on the other side, but I would argue that taking the path would be more efficient than facing the full force of the enemy troops behind us. They're sneaky, they're scheming. Yeah, let's get on that quickly, let's go! They're catching up to us, they're piling up! In conclusion, I would agree with Miss Rio's suggestion. I can prepare for combat. She said no. There are times to fight. That time is not now. Professor Oakwood.
Now is not the time and the place.
How's it go?
Now is not the time for that.
I looked it up. It's as I said. Understood. I will clear the way. Yep. Clear it up. Free it up. Your Toki. Your Asuma Toki. You clear that shit up free. This has all the markings of a trap. I can't fall prey to these negative thoughts. With both Sensei and Himari here, we can push through this. I guess so. Just keep on pushing. I will sit back and drink my water. As we enter yet another one. Keep pushing. 34 of them? That's too many. It's fine though. We just keep it pushing. Yeah. I wish we had a spread. There we go. AoE. I guess the AoE kinda counts. Yes. Where you at, boss man? Where you at, boss man? We're gonna get you. And we keep it pushing. Oh shit, they're on us. They're on to us. Get out! Get out! That's kind of ominous. Yeah, no, this soundtrack is really good. Then again, when can you not say that about Blue Archive? But as per usual, we keep it coming. Cock my balls. Woo! Cockma gets 5. I'm sorry to hear about your Decagrammaton Prophet. He gets 5 big booms. Boom! 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 Alright. Let's keep it pushing. I have located the exit. Hurry, Sensei. President Himari. It's locked. I'm forcing my way through. Excuse me. Huh? What is this place? The Nether! This is... You mean to say... This inside... We're now inside the volcano. We're now inside the volcano we saw earlier. The path led us into the heart of the volcano. You're the first person to pronounce Kokma correctly? Yeah, because I try my best to go by the original Hebrew reading, or closer to the Hebrew readings of the prophets. But I also just use the kana. I forgot if I do. Yeah. Like people pronounce cassed cheese. I try, like when I really want to try hard, it's like I go cassed because it's a Hebrew word that's hard to pronounce, but it's usually just cassed for me. And kokma. But everything else is like easy enough. Is this really it, Rio? It was the most logical decision at the time. At least there's no enemies here. I guess. Volcano, high temperature area, and climbing. The heat is unbearable now. How are you going to fix this? Sensei, take responsibility. Chat room! How are we gonna take responsibility? We're gonna get her an ice pack. Trick question. You're better dressed than in your usual outfit, at least. I guess. I suppose. I'm melting away. Bro, you still got the layers on. You still got the fucking Shiori bit on. The Shiori EFZ. I forgot what VN she's actually from. Phew. We managed. We may have ended up inside a volcano, but at least we can catch our breath. Let's go back to the helicopter and AC right now. Our state-of-the-art helicopter is not your refrigerator. Or look at the mining. The Nether. I had to say it again. That's just where we are. Oh god, this track again. It's so good. Fuck, it's so chill. The further we proceed, the more drilling rigs there are. This mountain was likely the core target of their mining operations. The glacial sea, the tundra, and the volcano. Just what are they planning on doing with this wealth of resources? Is it for Cassed's munitions factory? No, if that were the case. Amy, you look unwell. Will you be okay? Amy? No, I truly am at my limit. If I don't make it, please leave a scoop. No, please leave a whole box of ice cream in memory of me on my grave. Given the context, that sounds alarmingly not like a joke. However, the enemy seems to have stopped their pursuit. As hot as it may be, we can recollect ourselves here for a moment. They stopped? Yes, I'm scouting the area with drones and Almos, but I've detected no enemy troops in the area. On the surface, that's a relief. Underneath, it's an ominous statement. How so? Why would the enemy, who severely outnumbers us, not press their advantage? The only deterrent would be something of a greater threat. Or something they shouldn't approach. Ding ding ding, the answer is, in fact, both! Welcome back, Ainor Self. That voice! You somehow managed to intrude on this place!
It's a shame it'll all be for nothing, isn't it?
Oh yes, congratulations are in order. However, are they not? Quite a feat they have achieved. Isn't it? It doesn't matter, because it's all over now. I said it, I did it. Have you been watching us? Of course, ever since you set foot on the tundra.
Did you think you could scuffle with our troops and still escape our attention?
Oh my, oh dear. Do humans really require such glaring facts to be explained to them? Disappointed cannot accurately express the feelings running through my circuits. I suppose it's to be expected. From here, it's all over. Right here, right now.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Like Ein said, let's get this over with.
Of course, if you choose to surrender, I cannot fathom a reason to not accept. Do we call this mercy? A sense of pity?
You can't expect us to surrender without knowing the situation. What's the goal?
Is it okay to tell them? The details we cannot, but there are things we could reveal to the human self.
Why not? We intend to build a new foundation for this world. Create everything anew. If you really think about it, we're doing it for you.
To put it simply, we will present the perfect model, the complete answer.
Yes. Now listen closely. This next matter is one of great import.
Allow me to explain in terms you can understand. Is it not the bane of human existence to agonize over right and wrong decisions, whether the path you tread is the optimal choice? Oh no, we're getting the trolley problem scenario again. We already went over the fact that it's not how it works. We will graciously grant each and every one of you mercy. You will never again have another worry.
Normally yours just yapping, but that was the master's very reason for existence.
I guess so. Also, yapping mentioned. Some people are not gonna be pleased with that one.
Oh my. Oh my. Have you been watching too many science fiction movies? What a third-rate villain line.
And a waste of time, not even worth listening to. If you believe in your message, you shouldn't feel the need to hide things. That is correct. I have been told that nothing can be good for the good of all, and creating something new is not worthwhile.
You're going too far.
I'm starting to get a little angry.
It's of no concern. This outcome was still within range of our predictions, was it not?
Send in the dog!
Arr! I'm your little butterfly.
Something like that. Hold up, 1 second, I gotta sneeze. The Decagrammaton engineers I've been hearing about.
Sukatsuki Ryo.
Sagatsuki Rio.
The new variable. You've arrived.
So why did this variable finally make her appearance? No, another useless question.
You, the first to notice the Master's presence. The audacious one who follows its trail. You have not resurfaced since the day Kivoto's sky almost fell. And like that time, you should have remained put in the shadows, where you belong.
I can acknowledge the sentiment. Your perception of me is yours to keep after all. However, you've gathered more data on me than I expected.
We, the engineers, prepare for any and all possibilities, because we're the engineers. That's why Kokma will return everything to how it should be.
Come forth, Kokma! The ground! Something's happening to the volcano! Detecting activity from the volcano, Sensei. There.
Beep, beep, beep! There's more? God fucking damn it! A prophet! I'm seeing signals of a new prophet!
Yes, I can confirm. The wave patterns. Is this Kokma? Kokma?
Kokma, the second Sephira of the Tree of Life. The realm's ancient guardian. Shining intelligence and hidden wisdom.
What would Black Suit say? What would Black Suit say if this was a chapter that featured him? This prophet's path is intelligence through wisdom, or something like that. I feel like wisdom was already used though, I don't remember.
Unwelcome variables are unwelcome. With Kokma's power, this volcano will erupt. And eradicate the most unwelcome variable here, Shale Sensei!
And of course you, Sakatsuki Ryo.
No problem for you, right? Ein?
If it's for elder sister... and they did not decline our offer of mercy. You're right, they did. Yes!
Not if we have anything to do about it. Go! Kirino! What in the world?
Go, S. Kirino! This makes no sense! That thing on top of the lava, it's a super phenomenon!
Right, I think the original purpose of our club was to investigate such things.
The super phenomena we were created to investigate and this thing are two entirely different breeds!
This signal is the nameless gods.
Gebura was always reliable, a hothead but still reliable. That's why we left the important task of patrolling the glacial sea to it.
In fact, it was Gebura's idea to lure you ingrates here. Even the amazing Sensei and Sakatsuki Ryo can't do anything to fight Kokma, not while it's in lava. Izumi Amy is weak to heat, and Asamatoki Zabiesha is in need of maintenance.
It sure is tiring fighting without rest, huh? It's break time in more ways than one.
We will go ahead and grant you one. An eternal rest.
It's done! It's over!
No! It's not over yet! We still have a fight to do.
Against these kind of enemies, sometimes a straightforward operation works best. What are you going to do, Rio? Go, my drones! My legion! I will deploy every almas I have to build a defense line. We can use the remains from the field facility. It won't be a proper barrier, but sometimes against primitive opponents, you need primitive methods. But that's... I see. That must be... insane. Thank you, Rio. We don't need Kirino anymore. The engineers stated that Sensei was their primary target for eradication. In their eyes, Sensei's presence is the biggest threat. Well, yeah, of course. How does, was it Francis or was it Black Suit that said it? You reshaped the story. No, it was, Maestro. No, not Maestro, Golconda. Golconda that said it. You how does it go? You reshape. Something about changing the ending to fit your narrative or something. It was Volume 3, Chapter 3, Episode, Volume 4, Episode, like 17 or something? I don't remember. Sensei? I don't know what those children are thinking or planning. But for now, let's take care of what's right in front of us. And then you'll definitely turn on the AC for me. For 10 hours if you want. Fuck the electric bill. Thank you, Sensei. That's why I like you. The helicopter is going to run out of fuel if you do that. Well, got more! The ship. The giant ship with legs. Preparing for battle. It's settled, everyone. Let us engage. We sure worked hard to lure them all the way out here. Good luck, Kakma! Skatsuki Rio may have deployed countermeasures, but our beloved Kakma can handle them! Yeah, but I'm the GOAT. Watch this shit. I'ma win. And not get drenched. And killed. Everyone! Look out! Alright, off we go. What is Kakma? Special. Okay, let's switch it up. We don't have a tank. We have a tank. Whoops. That should be good. We got this shit. Lock in. Lock in. The ship. I sunk your battleship. Oh shit. It's a giant ship with legs. It's a dinosaur. Kokma. I didn't actually... Lock in. Okay. You're done. You're nothing in comparison to my units. Buddy boy. Buddy boy. Oh yeah. We fought it off. Tactical victory. Which means that we shut it down for a second and then ran away. That's what that usually means. Pocket sand. Ah! Whatever, keep it pushing. We did it! We beat it! Get out! What about the volcanic activity? Earthquake magnitude has reduced significantly. Lava flow appears virtually non-existent. The volcano is beginning to stabilize. That's the least of our worries. What is Kokma's status?
It can't be. Even though Kokma was not yet perfected, I can't believe it lost.
What? Wait, what is this? We filled our resource quota?
That was the situation. It prioritized the protection of resource delivery rather than the defeat of the variables.
Huh. If that was its plan, it should have spoke up.
But baby Kokma is a shy one.
Let Kakma retreat from here. In that case, in terms of strategy, we're already victorious.
Yeah, I guess it got what it needed.
Catch you later, buddy.
Kokma is... Yes, it's retreating towards the glacial sea. Regardless, how do I put this? To imagine it had a second form.
Yes. The gigantic pits we saw were the actual footprints of the monster.
Right? A giant transforming monster! Isn't that cool?
Aren't you oddly excited right now, Sensei?
I mean, it's a giant transforming monster! Who wouldn't be excited about that? One of them proves to have good taste. Although for that one to be the strange teacher, it's distasteful. Problematic. I'm just glad someone out there recognizes how great our baby Kokma is.
Hey, why are we complimenting our enemies all of a sudden?
Sure, I'm happy for you, but we still defeated the robot thing. Whoops. Reality check.
Ah, sure, whatever. You can tell yourself that, but we know the truth is that we retreated for your sakes, not the other way around. Don't be upset, Hein. It's okay, you did good.
We will let sleeping dogs lie.
This feeling of supposed victory, enjoy it to the fullest. Savor it for now.
Mark my words, a tactical victory does not make for a strategic triumph.
Pocket sand, go! They left.
You seem disappointed, Sensei. Naturally, I had hoped for more opportunity to converse with those children as well. Perhaps we could have found out more, even if only the barest crumb of a clue.
You're right, Himari. We barely have any leads right now. I wanted to talk more about the transforming monster.
That was your main concern?
Well, yeah, it's fucking cool! Robots are cool, bro. I am a transforming battle maid, Sensei. You are allowed to like transforming monsters, however, you should give me some of that affection and attention. Somehow, Toki seems a bit different. Yeah, she's been molded by her environment while you were gone, buddy.
Let's head back for now. We have our own injuries to nurse.
I agree. We need time to catch our breath and perform maintenance.
Yes, just like Gebera.
Whoops. Yes, just like Gebera, I cannot positively assert that Kokma has been rendered completely inoperable, and the barrage of battles expended a large amount of our resources. However, if needed, I could continue, for I am the perfect maid. Nope. Shut down! False. Stand down, Toki. Even you need to rest. Power down Abiyasha immediately.
Yeah, listen to orders, buddy.
Beep beep. We're back in business. Understood, Miss Rio. Yeah, don't disobey!
Good work, everyone.
I just might survive. But can we turn up the AC more, President?
Spare me, Amy. It's already getting cold in here.
Your yellow jacket is made for cold weather. You can put that on.
You're telling me to wear a jacket just so you can have the AC on max? That's an utter waste of energy. What happened to the efficiency you love so much?
You're wrong, President. In this case, inefficiency would be your operator not being able to research 100% of her potential due to poor temperature conditions. Energy can be recharged, machines can be maintained, even replaced. The human body cannot. We will leave this volcanic region at full speed. You two can reach a compromise after that. Nice, Toki! It was nothing. Peace. Peace. Peace? Yes, I learned this from President Himari herself.
That's right. See how your very own Toki has grown and changed? This, that, everything you observe with your very own eyes, they're all thanks to this Millennium Mentor and super genius delicate chic beauty.
What are you going to do about this, Miss Rio? The president's head has blown up again. No, Translation, Himari is happy she got to see you. Thank you for everything.
Where did you come up with that? That thought has never crossed my mind, not in my entire life. I suppose I can't deny that your presence has benefited this mission in more ways than one. Thank you, Rio. You saved us.
Yes. I guess we keep it pushing. We are above the tundra region. The air current is unstable, but please remain on guard for any emergencies. It seems that like the Decagrammaton's remaining forces and facilities are no more.
That reminds me, I collected samples from both of them.
When did you do that, President? Do you intend on adding Squirrel to your long list of titles?
Oh my, a squirrel does sound cute.
I believe this may be a rare situation where I accidentally encouraged her. I apologize, Sensei. If I agreed, then I'd be agreeing that Himari's... well...
What about a chipmunk? I feel like P. Diddy with fur. Ah!
I am failing to comprehend this interaction. However, it appears we believe Amy did something wrong. I will agree. This is a little awkward, so I think it'd be best if I just stay out of it. I'm looking at you in the eyes.
The eyes. Anyways, what do you mean by samples? Huh? Let's keep the conversation going. It's just as I said. Kukma had resource harvesting facilities and what seemed to be Decagrammaton's forces protecting them. They were all subjects worth analyzing. Above all, the fact that they were operating forces and facilities of this scale without cassette, their munition factory, incites suspicion.
We will need to land the helicopter to begin analysis.
Understood. Let's do it somewhere very cool. Somewhere cool for Amy, maybe torture for me.
That may be right, but we're also concerned about the helicopter engine overheating.
It can't be helped. I'll give in this time.
Yeah, bundle up! You don't have to start pouting already, President. Yep. We're in the research phase, baby. Legacy of the Nameless Gods.
Well, don't we already have one of those? Legacies of the Nameless Gods?
New collection acquired. View now? Sure, let's take a look at it. Our collection grows. Kukma is where you expect him to be. Let's read it real quick. The second prophet of the Decagrammaton. Its identity was revealed to be the AI of drifting... Fuck, let's read that from the top. The second prophet of the Decagrammaton. Its identity was revealed to be the AI of a drifting auxiliary ship's navigation control system, hacked by the Decagrammaton. Its name appears to come from Kukma, the second Sephira of the Tree of Life. Unlike other prophets, it seems to be able to change its form and structure to a great extent, and its motivations are difficult to discern. For now, one assumes that can set and change its own purpose. While its basic auxiliary ship form is already something to be careful of, its second form is said to be Kukma's true danger.
Wow.
We don't know shit about it, do we? Already almost done. Legacy of the Nameless Gods.
To summarize, we followed Kukma's trail from the glacial sea to here, and we uncovered its activity in the volcanic region. We believe it was harvesting resources to transport to a second location.
Yes, we observed it building transportation routes, although we're still unsure of where the resources are being sent, and there are still facilities remaining in the area. Shall I perform recon in this area, Miss Rio, President Himari? Yes, thank you, Toki. Alright, off to work! Should I join her?
No, I have a separate task for you, Amy.
What is it?
We need to do an analysis of the remaining Decagrammaton facilities.
My mission is to retrieve samples.
Precisely. For this kind of endeavor, the more samples we have, the better.
Off on a quest, I guess.
What are you doing, Rio?
Well, I guess the Amos drones would be a bit more... Didn't you say you needed more samples?
Then are you offering to help?
Did you really feel the need to spell it out? It's inane.
It's fine. Great. Let's get this over with. Then, shall we?
Despite everything, you still can't come to your true feelings. Can you? You two are close friends.
Definitely not!
You're completely wrong, Sensei. Whatever. Just do whatever. I don't care. Say it how it is. Will these samples be enough, President?
Yes, that should be enough, Amy. We've nearly completed the analysis. Are you receiving the results, Rio?
Receipt confirmed. I have a few conclusions I've made.
Oh, is that so? Well, go on.
I believe this to be a matter of great importance. We can confirm it on site. I've detected traces of material construction in the samples.
Ah, I can see it. We've faced something similar before.
Huh? We have? What have we seen before?
Yes, Sensei. Do you remember the Ark of Atrahasis?
Oh, I see. Its whole thing is reconstruction and shit. False sanctums, how the Ark of Atrahasis actually formed itself, I guess.
And what happened to those subjects? I mean, Otis and Kay.
I guess not.
Oh. Ah, that makes more sense.
The manifestation of the power. Like, use available resources. 900 what was it? 999,990,000 exabyte or more exabytes. The princess has received the key. Has obtained the key and is ready to go.
Ah.
Manifested power. Yes, exactly, Sensei.
Yes, it's the same.
Material reconstruction is one of the signature powers of the Nameless Gods. There's no way to confirm for certain since we don't have direct access to Kokma. However, looking at the resource harvesting methods, their transport facilities, and even the forces themselves.
Yes, they were all created via material construction. The power of the Nameless Gods. And now, I think our hypothesis is almost proven.
Proven?
Yes, all the pieces fit together.
Asamatoki, reporting. I have returned. I've confirmed the presence of hastily constructed rails leaving the volcanic regions. There are also several small defensive forces stationed along the paths. Nice! Good work, Toki. Yes, of course, Sensei. You should be more proactive and bold in issuing me compliments. To be specific, here are some potential options. Head pats, a light hug, or your hands around my waist. Huh! We're just gonna gloss over that, okay, chat? Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it, chat! Sensei, why are you suddenly flustered? Toki? It's definitely a bit of a departure from what Rio knew of Toki, but I wouldn't question it, Miss Rio. I can't confirm if she's just revealed her true nature or if she's changed, but this is simply Toki for now.
Let us continue, Sensei. Right, yeah. What did you mean by all of the pieces fitting in together?
Disappointing.
There were 3 prophets of Decagrammaton that the Super Phenomenon Task Force faced before coming to the Glacial Sea. Bina, Kased, and Hod. None of those 3 prophets had any relation to the power of the Nameless Gods. But when it came to Gebera and Kokma, the prophets we met here, we identified traces of the power of the Nameless Gods. Which could explain the rather surreal experience of a ship floating on lava that we all witnessed.
Well, it's certain that the Decagrammaton and its prophets are already utilizing the power of the Nameless Gods, right?
Yes, that seems to be an incontrovertible fact. Incontrovertible fact. The real concern is what they intend to do with that power.
Probably reform the world?
What? Rio, just now?
Yes, I'm detecting it from here as well. What's wrong, President? Did something happen?
Did you find something? Did you find something, Miss Rio?
Please explain.
Yes, for this to happen, we're going to have quite the emergency on our hands.
In other words, we've detected a new prophet.
Another one? But on an entirely different scale.
Is this Tippereth? It's the only new prophet that's been revealed past Kukma, I'm pretty sure. Right?
It's a very, very powerful signal.
Dead End. Whoa! These chapter names are getting tight.
Just keep pushing though. We keep listening to this jumper ass music. It's Castle Crashers ass.
I mean, that's a compliment. I fucking love Castle Crashers.
Okay, status update, Rio?
An analysis of the new prophet?
Yes, I couldn't get a detailed analysis from here considering its strength at the time it occurred. The signal faded out incredibly quickly.
Well, that's why I'm here. So you can not have to read the story on your own. Honestly, I'm gonna be completely real with you. I did read all of the story before I started streaming on my own, but when it's like event stories and stuff, it's very hard for me to keep track. So I stream mostly to keep myself in check. And actually get myself to reading it. I can confirm it's a new prophet, entirely different from Geber or Kukma.
This would make it the third prophet we've encountered since coming here.
It's a bargain sale for prophets. I would like to buy one. What is the asking price? You too.
They're fresh out of prophet stock.
We fresh out of tires. I recorded the signal's coordinates. I'll send them to you now.
It's quite a ways away. I'm curious to investigate, but having to take the risk of moving our base again. Furthermore, to send out such a strong signal, there could be ill intent behind it.
Like something summoning us? It's a similar functionality to a bug zapper. I understand.
I can't say for certain, but I certainly wouldn't rule it out.
It's a trap. Fucking... It's a trap! Anyone remember that shit from Star Wars? From
2008 memes? Admiral Akbar?
Dude, we're bringing back all old memes here on the channel. Every stream will be we have a quota to fill. 3 old memes from before like 2017 will be referenced.
Well, it'd rather be valiant for the headlines to say something like, "The Super Phenomenon Task Force bravely takes on the enemy's trap and prevails."
I oppose. It's irrational and inefficient.
Yes, I agree with Miss Rio. I am left with no other choice. Since no one else is taking the president's side, I will stand by her. I'm sorry, Miss Rio.
Oh, bye-bye. What?
Can you please not show sympathy like you're dealing with leftover inventory? On top of that, it's not like I've adopted for one method or another.
Skibbity Toilet is too old, too young. It's from 2020 something, I don't remember what year exactly. Then you're the one at fault, President. You should be presenting clear and concise proposals to the Council.
It was meant to be an icebreaker! An icebreaker! To finish what I was saying, while bravely facing the trap as an appealing option, I can't risk the safety of our members.
Then utilize my Amos. I have an Amos drone that I modified for high-speed recon for situations like this. I'll send it to the signal's origin.
Oh my, so that neurotic personality of yours can be useful sometimes. Bro, leave her alone!
I'm only deploying the most rational method for the situation. What are you trying to say?
Bro, she's trying to say that you even having that in the first place is the neurotic part, not you doing it. Forget it. I can't even open my mouth around here.
I've deployed the drone. It'll take about 20 minutes to reach the area. I'll slow it down. Connect the video. What? Is there an issue, Miss Rio? I lost connection with my Amos drone. We need more details, Miss Rio. It's as I said, my connection was severed out of nowhere.
It must have sent out some amount of data before that happened, no?
Whoops, I used data for Himari instead of data, whatever. Hold on, I'm analyzing it. This is...
Is something wrong?
Himari, I'm sending you the data right now. Help me analyze it.
It's really unusual for you to request my help, and so I'd assume...
Yes, I'm truly hoping that my interpretation is wrong here. It's an even bigger walking ship! What's going on? Things are okay. Right? What in the... This means... It seems like I wasn't wrong. Yeah. There's no way you'd make the mistake with these. After all, I do respect you when it comes to this field. What's the matter, President Himari? To get to the heart of the issue, it appears that at the coordinates is... the multidimensional barrier that once protected the Ark of Atrahasis. The Ark of Atrahasis? Yes, Sensei. There's no mistaking it. But why here? And why now? Does this mean the sky will return, the red sky will return to Kivodos? And the strange machines? The false sanctums. Y'all remember it, don't? The nameless gods, the nameless priests? I suppose you could call this a silver lining, but I don't think the threat is to that extent. That's right. At the very least, it doesn't seem like there are signs of dimensional interference at the mentioned coordinates. I think if I want to predict anything, I predict it's just like to conceal itself, more than like being an interference with reality. But the multidimensional barrier is there. Yes, considering this new data and what we've discovered so far, I would have to conclude that the prophets have fully immersed themselves in the power of the nameless gods. Furthermore, for them to have utilized an almost insurmountable defense mechanism, a supernatural phenomenon beyond anything we'd previously encountered. Which means they're hiding something here. Yes, so what countermeasures are currently available to us? The only way we overcame the multidimensional barrier the first time was with the Utnapishtim ship Sensei made for us. We would be hard-pressed to get another supernatural phenomenon at that scale into our arsenal again. Himari Terra would be tough. Most terrors would be tough. Black suit. Oh wait, why did it flash him? Hard pressed to get another supernatural phenomenon at that scale into arsenal again. Oh, Volume F, Chapter 3, Episode 7, To the Sky? Or is it Episode 4 or 5, What's Hidden in Abydos? Or is it 3? I don't remember what Black Suit says in that scene. But I must warn you, Sensei. Something, your body will receive irreversible damage. You may even die. Something. I find you utterly incomprehensible. Are you going to save your student, Sensei? And then like, yeah, we are. That's probably the case. I'm trying to remember why Black Suit would mention that. Is it just the mention of Utnapishtim as a whole that brings Black Suit into the flashback, or is it that specific point saying that even if we had another like nameless god piece of technology in our arsenal, it would be literally unusable to us because Sensei would literally die in the process? You already almost died using Utnapishtim, which was, you know, in the same episode To the Sky, and it's mentioned that like he was already going to die in Rite of Light, so right. It's difficult to admit, but we're low on options. Everything is a non-starter if we can't find a way to deal with the nameless god's power. And even if we forgot the barrier, we'll have to find a way to circumvent the prophet's ability to manipulate material reconstruction and recover infinitely. Cobblestone generator? I agree. I agree. We may have dealt some critical damage to Gebra and Kakma, but they recovered in no time at all. Yes, using reconstruction, the recovery process is almost instantaneous. The prophets are already able to utilize the nameless god's power to this extent. What can we even do about it? Also, President, how can we forget the multidimensional barrier? Even if we try to pretend it's not there, it will still be in our way. Now that I think about it, what did we do back then? We didn't do anything. However, if we were to go back to what I referenced earlier, what I cited earlier, Rite of Light 1, maybe Rio did some part of it, but it was mostly Utnapishtim and Alice. Back then, our main objective is to destroy the Ark of Atrahasis in the sky above Kivodos. However, the Ark is protected by a quantum superposition state barrier that makes physical access from the outside impossible. As long as this barrier is in place, physically reaching the Ark is impossible. Therefore, we plan to pass through the barrier by putting Utnapishtim's ship in the same quantum superposition state. But ultimately, that approach method failed because the Ark of Atrahasis changed the entire value of the state itself. So we ultimately relied on... It's all back to me now. Episode 12. Proposal. And there lies the body of Ki. Proposal. I was not present at the scene, but I have heard that Artis was instrumental in the mission's success. I recall after everything was over, the game development department members visiting us at the Super Phenomenon Task Force Club Room. I remember everything from the party proposal, 2 kilobytes worth of data, a robot-shaped keychain, good atmosphere, touching background music, and finally my enthronement as the main heroine. Many things happened. Ha. The first part happened, but the rest sounds like a fantasy. I just tried saying it. Toki has been trying to secretly impart her own agenda more frequently. Chat room, are you taking the Toki pill? Are you falling for the Toki agenda? Are we thinking it's happening? Anyways, back then, the Utnapishtim ship that Otis reconstructed was Otis's proof of a hero. I still remember the name I came up with. The Sword of Light, Atrahasis Supernova. It wasn't the right time to say it back then, but you're not very good at naming things, are you? I don't want to hear that from you! They're both... ahem. But we don't know what exactly Otis did back then, which is the crux of the problem. We have no way of determining the method or mechanism she used to reconstruct such a thing. Yes. What was the source of what the source of energy was, how material reconstruction occurs, how she collected and discharged it, they're all mysteries to us. From our perspective, she managed all of this in the blink of an eye. All of these questions make it nearly impossible for us to replicate what she did. It was a miracle born of the strangest dream, which is what makes it the absolute antithesis to science in theory. Exactly. Science is a systematic process. It's designed to allow anyone to reproduce the same results as long as they're familiar with the process. I believe we should reach out to Otis. You want to call Otis out here? To this place? Yes, exactly. We should ask Otis to analyze and explain what she did. Rio, are you absolutely certain? Huh? What do you mean? Aren't you then just using Otis as a tool to resolve your issues? President. Rio, I don't need to repeat myself. We've already had this conversation back in Utnapishtim's ship. The only difference is that the subject has shifted from Toki to Otis. Of course, as a delicate flower blooming on a cliff, I couldn't care less about the accidents you make and regrets you have, but someone making the same mistakes over and over again is rather uncouth and boring, even for the one who has to watch it happen. Yes, right. I have no rebuttal. Hey, Rio. Hmm? The Flash is from Volume 3, Chapter 11. Is beginning... End of the beginning? I forgot what it was called. Start of the story? Yeah, I think it was called Start of the Story. Was that Volume F, Chapter 3, Episode 11? I don't remember. But that was the Flash from that, but you could also just say it's a Flash from the 4th PV, because that's what came first. But ultimately, I think the concern here is the path of Ki, Nameless Gods, or whatever. You know, the bad ending. Do we need Otis to resolve this? I apologize, Sensei. Please disregard that hypothesis. It's one of many possibilities, and I can hardly guarantee her presence here will result in what we need. You can forget I ever proposed it. My approach was incorrect. Then, I'll try talking to Otis in the game development department. Sensei? Sensei? What is this behavior, Sensei? Is something wrong with you? Are you very sure, Sensei? In the worst case, the situation seems dire. Seems dire? Well, I could see how one would be led to that conclusion. And if anyone were to talk to Otis, it should be you? In return, I have a request of you, Rio. Bring back Key! Me? Oh. Oh. I want you to come to the Glacial Sea Base. In person. I want you to face it. To face your mistakes. I want you to accept yourself. Miss Rio? Sensei, does that mean the so-called concept of taking responsibility together? I'll leave the final decision to you, Rio. Just like how you suggested your own proposal, I too am suggesting a proposal. I don't know, Sensei. I don't know whether or not I have the right to do... Miss Rio, you were the one who saved us. I don't know about right and wrong. I am also unsure if it is feasible for someone to always make the correct choice. However, I would like to see you again. Is that not reason enough? Toki. Rio, it's your decision to make. I know what drives you, it's rationality. So what decision will your rationality, your logic, drive you to this time? Logically, there are limitations with radio communications regarding both security and safety. Any kind of radio interference like what happened in this fight could affect the integrity of the entire mission. So Excellent, it's decided. We'll meet you at the Glacial Sea Base. Okay. What's wrong, Miss Rio? Does something not agree with you? That's not exactly it. But is this really okay? I'll send you the coordinates of the Glacial Sea Base. I'm assuming you have some form of transportation already sorted out? Yes. It will be our first meeting in a long time, Miss Rio. I will be waiting. Toki. Yes, how can I help you? Hi, Toki desu. Thank you for your hard work. And for everything. You're welcome. While everyone was busy with their preparations, I took some time to myself. Then... who will show up? The chest! We thirst for the seven whalings, we bear the cone of Jericho, and whatnot. Huh? Sensei? Welcome, Sensei. What business do you have here? What? You wish to see our faces? I'm both glad and thankful to hear that, but... Don't try to play it off though, Sensei. Affirmative. Your expression is that of seriousness. So again, what is your business? Am I that easy to read? I see. Are you surprised? Of course we can see through you. We've been together for so long, you know. We'd know just by looking at you. Agreed. Perhaps you are not aware, but the sensei of my world was also that kind of person. What's on your mind? Spill it to Arona. And to me. And yes, Plana too. It bothers me that I can't solve this for them. I'm sending students straight into danger. Sensei. But if you think about it, Sensei, even until now, you've brilliantly solved many situations like this before, right? Or something like that. Yoshino. Battle at Eridu. The Eden Treaty. Sardi's infiltration. The burning of Yakyako. This time, it's a little different.
Huh? You're saying that back then you helped resolve ongoing situations? Like cleaning up the aftermath?
But this time, you feel like you're leading students into danger? Understood, but isn't there a possibility that something worse would happen if this situation isn't addressed? That's also true, but I'm putting students in harm's way for only a possibility. It makes me wonder if I'm any different from those people. Man, I wish I could just become super strong.
Sensei?
Cannot comprehend. What is wrong, Sensei? You know, like that, right? Be able to fly. Smash through barriers. Nameless gods, Decagrammaton, whatever it is. I wish I could solve everything at once.
Why are you acting like this?
Confused. I cannot understand. I would like to request a more detailed explanation from Sensei. No. It's fine. I was just being foolish. Oh, fuck. I'll never forget your words, friend. I've got to do it. Yeah. I'll try everything I can and struggle until the end. And if that's not enough,
If that's not enough?
well, we can cross that bridge when we come to it, since I don't know how things will go.
Sensei? You sure you're okay?
Doubtful and confused. Request. Sensei should get a mental checkup. It's fine. It's fine.
Sensei, thank you for the head pats, but...
Even more confused. Cannot understand Sensei's intentions. I patted both of them for a while. Once they fell asleep, I returned to the battlefield. What's the... Say. What's the Boondocks quote? What do you do when you can't do nothing? When you can't do nothing, but you don't know what to do? You do what you can, right? Is that not how it goes? I might have it wrong. It's been a while since I've seen it. Let me look. Yeah. What do you do when you can't do nothing, but you don't know what to do? You do what you can. That was a bit of a heavy hitter for this to end it on, right? We realized that throughout everything. We're only human at the end of the day. Quite literally, in the most literal sense, not in the way that Blue Archive, the students are humans. They're powerful, they're much stronger than us, they're much more active. They are our lights. While we, as Sensei, let me change it to a better background music.
雨降るのかな
Furu no kana. Oops, that's the event.
おかえり
Do I have it? Yeah, okay. We can only do so much. I think this is probably something that we realized as well as we were reading the story, but now as we find ourselves in a situation that can only be solved by, quite frankly, believing in a possibility and something that can only hopefully work, begin to change things. We're not steering our students in the right direction towards our hopeful, happy ending goal. We are sending students, we are commanding them, we are putting them in the face of danger to hopefully stop this thing that can end the world. But ultimately, we're still there. We're still a driving force, right? We are doing what we can to hopefully let all of this go to rest, right? Sensei is a very interesting character in Blue Archive, quite frankly. He is a character that I find fascinating, incomprehensible at times. It's implied that Sensei himself is the answer to one of the answers to the second cone or whatever. By understanding the means of the incomprehensible, can we begin to understand? It all comes together here. We are beginning to see something wild, something wonderful unfold as we begin to explore what is it can we do when we can't do anything. We don't know what to do. We will find our answers, hopefully, within the next bit of the story, as we get the game development department on board, as we get Rio back, and, spoiler stuff that, we may or may not have already seen. And we get to fight Tippereth or something, the beating heart of the Tree of Life. There's a lot to see with this. There's a lot to be done. I can't formulate my words regarding how much seeing Sensei go through the motions means to my understanding of him as a character, but it's something truly wonderful. It's something human. It's something that you realize that... Isn't it funny? As we grow up, we begin to realize that the adult figures that we look up to in our lives are not perfect. No one is perfect. We are growing up with the story. We're beginning to realize that even though everything seemed to work out, everything seemed to be perfect in the first 5-6 volumes of the story, things are not always going to be that way. We grew up and we realized that nobody's perfect. But that's fine. These two different converging paths will be coming together, and I assume the third path with Alice and Key from what we saw in the PV6. There's going to be so much in store for us. Ryu,
Shoryuken! Hadouken! Tatsumaki-sanbu Gakko!
But Rio will begin to forgive herself and realize that it's fine. We make mistakes. We grow up. Children, they deserve to make mistakes. Sensei, you'll find that we can do whatever we can. That's something we've been doing, like I've said many times. I've already reiterated it this many times in the past 10 minutes, but we do what we can. And hopefully, I believe the core, from analyzing the PV frame by frame several times over already, the main conflict is going to be Malkuth versus Key and Alice, and reach the conclusion of Key's arc. Malkuth, this robot, this elder sister, made with the power of the nameless gods, this old ancient technology, this rubble, made to serve the directive of the new god, versus the princess, the key of the Nameless Priest. One who was originally created to destroy the world, to create a world anew for the Nameless Gods and make that way, and the same paralleling Malkuth. Will we be able to see that new purpose come through? Will we be able to see the end of some of the strongest, some of the most intense character arcs in the entire story? Volume 2, Chapter 2 was, on its own, it was okay, but the story arcs that it sets up here, built upon in Volume F, and brought maybe close to a close, but not quite, here in Volume EX, Chapter 2, maybe even a bit more. They're wonderful, aren't they? But we got a lot of time to think about that. My voice has been incredibly strained because I have not been drinking that much water. But that doesn't matter because we are done here. We will be reading more when the next chapter drops, or the next part of the chapter drops, my bad, in 3 months, I guess. Or has it even come out in JP yet? I'm not too sure, but when that comes out, it'll be great, and it'll be awesome. And then after that, or even before that, I keep promising, but not promising at the same time, we may do some rereads. We may... I wanted to do maybe like rereading Volume 2 and F for that build up to the Decagrammaton chapters, so we have time to do that because honestly we haven't even gotten to the parts where all of that applies yet, but who knows, I'm very lazy when it comes to doing reread streams, so we'll see. It's all my directive, but either way, thank you for tuning in, stream watchers, VOD watchers, and everyone in between. Thank you very much, and you know the drill. Follow me on Twitter for... I don't even know what I post there right now. Join the Discord for Blue Archive discussion and whatever else. Both are linked below in the description. And, as always, happy camping, senseis.